learned if I want a strong man, I cannot be a man in a relationship. I think it's the only profession that promises you absolutely nothing. You do not, nothing. It's a luck. It's a lot of luck. And what I realize is that sometimes I start sounding like my mom and I don't want to. And I feel like we have like different programs that activate at certain age.
Welcome to Stars About Stars, podcast where instead of discussing red carpets, we have true, honest, heart-to-heart, direct conversations about the turning points behind success and glory. And I'd like to remind you that every episode is inspired by great biography and the Gemini Nemi app. Have you ever thought being an actress, being an artist, being a photographer can match being with caring mother and loving wife? Anna Smith. Hello, Anna.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Pleasure is mine. Honor to have you. We have today a different type of the interview, which is astronumerology interview. It based exactly on your date of birth and personalized only for you. And we have approximately 15 questions. And the very first question is extremely simple. You were born on April 24, 1986
Yep.
at 1:30 a.m. in Saratov. Is it correct?
That's correct, yes.
Anna, your main life energy is 16. That gives you the ability to see the essence of things, feel hidden processes, and analyze what is happening in the universe with your gut feeling. What event in your life led you to search for a deeper meaning or purpose?
I feel like every profound event in my life just made me search for deeper stuff. But I think I've been like this since I was a kid. And I remember I had those crazy thoughts. I know, as my parents thought they were crazy, but now I know just as a kid, you just like more open to things. And um, I had that since I was a kid, and I wanted to see what's inside, just to understand a deeper meaning. I was interested in very different books than usually kids read. I read every religious book that I could find in just to compare things and just see what they're saying and how they saying. So that was my interest from the very beginning. So, and of course, during my lifetime, as something happens, something serious, traumatic, or even like very good and happy, I would still think what led to it, because I believe that everything we have in the material world is just a result. It's like an aftermath of what's happening underneath, and the current, like a deep ocean current, that moves things. That's what ultimately.
I absolutely believe in the visible and unseen reality, and they are very related. And also, I hear a lot that now planet is going on the other level of the vibration, and people started to have their connection with their inner child and with the whole body, their intuition much more stronger than it was before.
That's true, because like everyone is just so like, if you take like 15 years ago, right? No one was interested in psychology, numerology, astrology that much as we all and right now, right? I was interested in it since I was a kid, but this mass following of this different knowledge, it's just happened just recently, and I think it's a big shift.
And we proceed actually with very astrological question. Your sun is in grounded Taurus, and your ascendant, which is the beginning of the horoscope, is in fire Leo, a combination that naturally places you in the spotlight, being an actress, as you are. At the same time, your karmic task is to develop the qualities of determined areas. How do you balance Leo's confidence, Aries drive, and Taurus attachment to stability, home, and definitely your kids?
Leo's confidence, I would say, just confidence. It's it's a good thing to have. Like, it's not a bad thing. But as you're saying, I feel like areas in wanting to do things and pursue some things is in conflict with me being Taurus and wanting to be home and just wanted to just stay calm and just rest, and because I don't like being around a lot of people. It just sucking my energy out of me. I'm very I'm an introvert, and I'm actually getting energy when I'm alone, and but wanting those things require me to go out of my comfort zone, just abandon my Taurus and just kind of like um, do what I have to do. But it's not easy. It's not easy because I would be home all the time, just doing my, like with my kids, just like in silence or alone, but instead of, if I want something, it's usually lays in the field of where I have to be like super active, social, and do things I don't like, just that kind of stuff.
Your sun has an aspect of conjunction with North Node, which speaks about very interesting position that you were born during an eclipse. This often brings a karmic ability to attract success through selfless attitude to the others and very caring actions to the people around you. So time and place and people align in your favor. Where in your life do you feel you were the luckiest most of all and got your fortune?
I think it would be fair to say that when I got pregnant with twins, that was like my biggest luck
Wow!
in my life. That was the biggest. But I think I'm a very lucky person because there's like in my work, I've had opportunities to work with people, very talented people in some projects. I still remember them. It's the story that I'm going to tell when I'm older, So but the biggest luck, I guess, it's my kids. Yeah, because knowing me before having kids, that's people who know me before kids. That's a big surprise for them because I never wanted kids. I never thought I'm going to be a mom, and that was a very conscious choice because I understood, not because of like selfishness, but I understood responsibility, and I felt there was like a lot, and I was right. I was right. But I was the one who was like, no, 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 that's not going to happen. It's just like my choice. And oh my God, thank God, universe. It doesn't listen to us all the time. Now I know, 100%. And I'm so thankful it didn't listen to me. So having twins was like a big, big luck because I was on the other side of having kids. Let's say that.
Your sun by birth is in a position with your moon, which speaks that you were born on a full moon
Oh
also
wow.
besides eclipse. This creates a constant desire for deep emotional experiences, and it can also indicate parental separation or tension in relationship with the opposite sex. Was there a moment in your life when you promised yourself not to repeat your parents' story and ended up having same patterns of behavior or facing similar challenges?
Again, after having kids, because kids, it's a like reveals so much about you and what you did know or you thought you would never be. And what I realized is that sometimes I start sounding like my mom, and I don't want to. And I feel like we have like different programs that activate at certain age, and you may like live your life thinking you're never gonna do that or say that, and it just something, it's this like a code just like comes out as a blurb, and you say, oh my God, I actually said that. And I'm just trying to be conscious of that because the way my mom raised me, that's not how I approach raising my kids. And that's the very important part for me, to be a parent and be a very conscious parent, and just break cycles that were in my family. And but sometimes, like, you hear yourself, you actually not doing, but I'm very conscious of what I do, but saying things exactly like my mom would sound, and I'm like, oh my God, I actually just did that. And just that what makes me go back there and, okay, let's think what happened, why I reacted this way and what needs to be healed, maybe.
We're all dual personalities, doesn't matter what is your gender, we carry in feminine and masculine energy, and definitely we are carrying the patterns of behavior of our parents. and father's side and mother's side, and things that we don't want to repeat. Sometimes, unfortunately, we reject, and what you reject, you attract. We all know it. And a person can choose anti-scenario or scenario of their parents, and most of the times we do choose this scenario. Your Mars, which is a planet of activity, goes in conjunction with Neptune, which is a planet of spiritual love, and gives you a magnetic, almost mystical attraction besides your beautiful appearance. What has been the most unusual or unforgettable encounter in your life?
I meet these people all the time. If I think of something and it's in my mind for a while, I will definitely meet someone who will not give me an answer, but just based on their experience, I would see where I should go or what I should do. And I can't just point one person because I think during my lifetime I've been very lucky. Again, uh, meeting a lot of people that stays in my life. I call them quality people, who can be my friends, and we can just. I don't have a lot, but everyone I meet usually stays with me for a long time, and we become friends. And I guess um, that doesn't happen often to everyone, and I'm just very grateful that I meet those people and I get to keep them in my life because they're really amazing. And maybe that's the I don't know maybe.
Your birth date also carries the energy 4, which speaks about family values and represents structure, discipline, and restrictions. Have you ever felt that life imposed limitations on you and you had to set up strong boundaries with somebody else, or maybe even be strict to yourself for a good purpose?
Oh, absolutely. Boundaries is 100%. I learned, I mean, it started from my family. I had to set a lot of boundaries. And, but I'm also a very structured person. And sometimes I impose those boundaries on myself, and it's not a good thing because um, I was lacking flexibility for a long time. I was very straightforward. Everything should go as I expected it to go. Everything was structured. Um, I love order, and it's kind of like um, you know to perfectionism, which is not good. And I started learning like flexibility and implementing it in my life, and it became much easier.
I think that perfectionism could be very inspiring, but could be also killing because it's
In
never
my case, it
enough.
was very killing, and you never know where to stop, and it's very strict, and it's unattainable, and it's kind of I don't know if it brings you anywhere, but flexibility is a key for me, as I learned.
I recently read an article on spirituality, and they say that only unseen reality is so perfect and ideal. Whatever we see in materialistic world, it's already a little bit twisted and never perfect. So we have just to adapt it, embrace it as it is, and love it.
That's true. And even when you create something and you feel, oh, that's perfect, I love it. Just next day, I look at it and I was like, that was okay. So it's just like that's the perfectionism. It's never ending like unreal story that it's just it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Is the energy of 6, which can manifest as instability in partnership. Has that shown up in your relationships in your life?
I'm a very stable partner. I've been married for 13 years, and before every my relationship would be like 4 or 5 years, not less. I never had a very short period of time that, oh, I would date for 3 months. I never had that experience. So maybe it plays out somewhere else. I don't know. I need to think about it.
And we come to your numbers more. From the birth to 12, your personality was formed, at least what numerology is saying, through structure and discipline,
Hmm.
energy
Yeah,
4. And you said already that you had your kind of inner conflicts while your upbringing with the family when you had to set up your boundaries. This often creates a child who seeks stability, order, and security, sometimes feeling the need to be perfect or not make mistakes. Who or what influenced your desire to always do things the right way?
I guess my mom, because I was very good kid. I was like excellent student. Everything was I did was great, but it was never enough. I guess I wasn't. My work was never appreciated. It was never enough. Like however high I would go, just like in my studies or my like any other achievements, would just be like that's okay. It's nothing, nothing crazy. And I'm coming from like a Soviet Union mentality, and I guess I understand where they were going from, but still, it formed my personality this way, because and I actually struggled a lot. Maybe that's why perfectionism, is it was my was my thing for so long because I just couldn't attain it, no matter how hard I worked or how much I did. It's like voice of our parents becomes our inner voice when we're adults, right? So maybe that was the voice that it was never enough, and that's very true.
I came from the same part of the world, and we didn't know any better. We knew very strict post-Sovietic education, and that you have to be number one no matter what,
Hmm.
and that your neighbors and other kids are watching you, and you represent the
Exactly.
family. And
Everyone
we
is
carried it
watching
here.
me.
Yes, I see it so differently because here everybody feels like leader. No matter
Hmm.
what, they feel appreciated, they feel loved, they feel enough. Yeah, they have their things that we carry this inner conflict. And I think it works out for good and bad because I would say that I met a lot of people from post-Soviet Union who are great workaholics and they have fantastic work and ethics.
Yeah.
But I know how suffering at the same moment
Yeah.
it could be.
It burns you
Yeah.
out. It burns you out because it's never enough. And it's good. I guess it's a good we have it because it's a work ethic and just like we get goals, right? Like we get things done. But I think it's important just to learn when to stop and just to reflect on what you just had.
And you operate in different creative fields. There is any project that you keep in your memory forever and you felt like this is enough. That was incredible done by me.
I have those. Yeah, I have those, and I love it. And
Which one is your favorite one?
well, I'm a painter, and I have paintings in the house that I painted, and I look at it. I was like, oh wow, I did that.
What is your self reflection exercise? How do you help yourself not to look back and compare yourself to the previous version of yourself, but always move forward and cancel the memories from the past?
I do remember a lot of things, but I don't keep going back to them. And also, another thing is, I know that I'm changing so fast and I'm changing a lot. I know that me 2 years ago has almost nothing to do with me right now. And I'm not even talking about like 10 years ago and 20 years ago. It's very, very different people. And I think I embraced my change because there's a saying that people don't change, and I'm like, oh, that's not me. I'm changing so drastically every time. Sometimes I can have like this views, and in a year I could be like, no, no, no. I knew I had that, but that doesn't exist. No, now it's this. And I just embrace that I'm changing so much, and that's there's no point to look back because there's just like it doesn't exist anymore. I can learn from it. There's if something happened and I need to go there and I need to and it because that's the source of like the pain or my whatever results I have right now. That's very helpful. But just to go back there, just I'm not even there anymore. It's not me. It's just someone who did that, and I have this result, and I need to and I need to work with this result right now.
I think people would pay any money to have your feature like that. Believe me, it's so helpful not to remember sometimes because I think people could live differently if they didn't keep grudges and their memories and they didn't live in the past because it's such a brainwash for yourself when you're overthinking things and you're not constantly losing energy. And thinking about if people do change or not, I do believe that we are changing constantly because the planet is changing, because air in us is changing, blood is constantly
Oh
moving.
yeah.
So there is no way we are not changing. The only thing that maybe we are coming back to our true selves, collecting the puzzles through the other people. That's why they say you don't change because you are born as you are. But think that we have a life to discover who we are. That's interesting journey to do. And 11, 12 is your turning point pretty early for a kid, but this could evolve a change in life circumstances or internal protest. Did something significant happen by that age, if you could remember?
Yes, yes, that's exactly date, like the age. I was about to turn 12 when my dad passed, and
Oh,
basically my personality formed around that loss from starting from that point. And so yeah, that's the shift in everything, energy in my life, in the views. I mean, what views can 11-year-old have? But it's a very strong and dramatic effect, when you lose someone that young. And that actually put me in a period of time where I had to work only with this thing, only like dealing with loss. And as I said, it formed my personality. I believe we our personalities formed depending on deficiency we have in life as kids. Um, but this part affected me so much that I had to, I think until I met my husband, I was still working with this, in certain ways, and because it affected every aspect of my life. So that was a really exact date and age that you could see.
I think losing a parent, which I experienced as well, but later on, not being a young kid as you. And I think it takes away a big part of you forever, and
Oh,
it's not a
forever.
healthy
Yes,
wound.
absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, it's like, can you be happy after that? Of course. Can you just do things and, like enjoy your life? Of course. But it's like losing your hand. Can you be happy? Yes. Can you go on with your life? Yes. You can enjoy things. Yes. But you're missing your hand. It's like, that's it. And you cannot do anything about it.
Want to learn how to love yourself and build up healthy relationships with yourself and others? Download Gemini near me. It's your one-stop shop for all self-discovery tools with access to the community of like-minded individuals.
17, 18, it's around 2003, 2004, a fateful choice. Maybe it was related to your education or maybe first love. What influenced your direction in life at that time?
Well, that's when I studying for my law degree because yeah, I went. I decided to be a lawyer. So that was the yes, exactly 17, 18.
And how did you switch from this strict profession to protect the others to a godly profession, being so much connected to your inner child, being creating photography, paint with oil, being an actress, being a model? How did you do that?
Well, again, it was an influence, but also I've been creative since I was a kid. I was like drawing, painting since I was a kid, but coming from the same almost right like country, it's I had to choose something that will bring money, that would just give me like status, like with uh, all the stuff that parents put on you, what you have to do. And also, I wasn't against it because, as you said before, like it's in my stars, right? I love order, structure. I loved it, and I graduated with honors, and I loved everything about it. But working working as a lawyer in the country where I'm coming from, where there is almost no law, it's so frustrating. And in a year or two, I just realizing that I'm just like sitting and producing air. I'm producing nothing with my work because it just doesn't work. It's all good on paper, but
Yep.
it's so that was the turning point when I said, okay, I'm an artist. I am an artist. That's it. That's it. I can't fight it. But I never stopped being an artist. Even when I was a lawyer, I would still paint. I would still do some artistic things, and it was always side by side. And even now, I check my contracts myself. Like I mean, I trust
That's
my agents.
unbelievable.
I trust my agents 100%. But I see, yeah, give me any paper, I'll see what's wrong with it right away. because I have this very hard school of being a lawyer in, in our country, and um, that really helps. No, I just and I see how people, just like in America, they're signing things without reading, and I'm like, oh my God, it's actually in the country where everyone sues everyone, like you don't read anything. So in my life, it helps. I don't regret it. I love it, and it's just I don't know. It gives you like a different structure of mind, and it's definitely helpful.
And we are coming to a more adult age, 2021, strong emotional or romantic experiences. What was the main karmic lesson from that relationship, if you had any, and what did you maybe differently?
I think what I learned from relationship in that age is that I had a lot of masculine energy because I would have to, losing my dad, I would have to become like my own protector, and just grew up like super fast and be strong and those kind of things. And I would still be it in relationship. And in a relationship, there is like a man and a woman, and just if you take that part from a man, he's gonna become like very feminine, It's just like
Yeah.
it's just an energy flow, And I learned if I want a strong man, I cannot be a man in a relationship. That was a good lesson. And if I didn't have those relationships, I wouldn't have what I have right now. And you don't have to. When I learned that, at first I thought I have to change myself, but it's the planets. It's like the way I was born. You still
Yep.
can. You don't have to get rid of that energy because you can't. It's your being, but you can just use it in a different direction, not pointed at your family or your relationship, but just like at work, just go be a strong person in your work field, but just when you come back to your family, to your partner, just like chill.
I think that's the biggest secret actually to switch energies
Just
and our
yes, it's like you
personalities.
have
Yes.
to learn.
Yeah, we have few personalities and we have to know where to be the mother, never to be the
Mhm.
mother for your beloved one, because men don't take it and they don't love it and they don't appreciate it and you'll ruin the family. So that's why to switch your image, know how to be kind-hearted with your friends, to be strict at your jobs, to be
Yeah,
loving with your kids, and to be a woman with your husband. That's a lot of jobs we have women. Age
a
23,
lot. It's
24.
like a lot of hats, and then just like different masks.
To
And
wear.
sometimes you just like forget to change your mask, and you just like walk in, and it's like, oh, I'm home already. So
You know, like one of my girlfriends, she said, I feel like entertainer in the circle when you're just going on the rope and you have a lot of balls, and after
that's
somebody
true.
is telling you one more ball, one more kid, one more responsibility to do
Hmm.
at home and so on, and we still have to carry all of them. 23, 24, the first major turning point, relationships, relocation, or a shift in worldview. What happened in your life during that time?
Well, at what at 23, 24, I moved to Moscow, and I that was a very challenging time for me because I never had any help. I never had anyone to talk to because um, like to ask for advice because everyone would have some plans for me. It's not exactly what I wanted. I would just have to. I just graduated and moved to a big city, and I would have to just start from nothing, just figure things out. What I want to be. That's when I started like working as a lawyer and figuring out that okay, that's how we work here, and just like oh, I don't want to do that, and just a lot of that was a big shift, yes, like just figuring things myself and with no help and trying to understand what I want.
Age 27, realization, I want something different. What kind of life you were dreaming about by that time?
I think that's where I met my husband and we got married, and we got
Oh,
married
wow.
super fast. We met, we moved in like in 3 days, and
That's incredible.
yeah, and like in 6 months we were married. We're just like everything was just like so certain, and why waste time?
Age 29, 30, it's 2015, 2016, a crisis of choice, career, relationships, or place of living.
I was trying to remember, and I believe we already moved here, and there was a lot of things happening that we had to start from zero again. we had to figure out things, and but I can't remember exactly what was the choice. I guess I came here, I was doing photography, and then I became a model just out of nowhere because that wasn't my plan. And all of a sudden, I got to experience like being on set and being an actress, and I was like, oh, I love it. There's so many things were happening, so I'm not sure which exact like what exact decision was made to just change everything, because everything was changing like this.
Who or what brought you to acting?
A chance. Someone asked me to be in their feature film as an actress, and I had a part there. And once I was in set, I was hooked. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Was it love
But
from the first sight?
oh yes, oh yes. I tried it. I loved it so much, and I didn't have any like I didn't have an audition or nothing. They just asked me. The director asked me to be there. He was like, I thought you're gonna be good for this part, and I just did it. And I didn't speak English much, and I had to
Wow.
learn, and I just had to sound like so so they could understand me at least.
Your language now is exceptional. Attend any schools
Oh yes, oh yes.
later on?
I was like, if I want to do that, I need to go to and study like acting classes, and I took a lot of acting classes, a lot of like workshops. Yes, that's where I decided I really want to do that. I love it. I love it. It's not the only thing that I'm gonna do, but I just love it. When I get a chance, I'm all in.
And there is any kind of recommendation that you can say to young actors or people who are watching you and just dreaming to become an actor one day? How should they start?
To start, well, I think it's like a one path. Just start doing it. Just start shooting things. Submit yourself. I think it's the same. Whoever those casting directors, they have this like workshops. It's the start. If you're not a Nepo baby, the start is going to be the same. Just start working on like studio films and just and see where it leads you. You know. I think everyone's path is a little bit different, but to start, just start. You know, get your headshots. Start doing like student projects. Start submit yourself. That's just like a first steps. And but only if you really want to do that. Because if you can do something else, I really love that piece of advice that I got. If you can do something else, just do that instead of acting, because it's challenging. It promises you nothing. I think it's the only profession that promises you absolutely nothing. You do not nothing. It's a luck. It's a lot of luck. Sometimes like I know a lot of super talented actors who they don't work. They don't work. And some just very mediocre, just making a good money and working all the time. So it's a lot of luck, a lot of work, and it's never promised. So if you just cannot do anything else and you're just so in love with it, and that's the only way you want to take, that's what you take. But if you can do something else, just do that instead, because it's less stressful. It's less stressful. It's very stressful and challenging. That's why like my kids are signed with agency, but people ask me like, you want them to be actors? I'm like, oh, no, absolutely not. But if they want it, like they crazy want it, and they're gonna be like, Mom, that's all what I want to do. I mean, of course I'll help, but I'm not gonna impose it on them.
I have a question for you as a woman to woman, because when I was 18, I really wanted to be an actress. And I asked my father, and he told me, no, you're gonna get a serious education in diplomatic university. And after, if you want and have time, energy, and inspiration, you do the second degree with acting, which I never did, of course. And you are the example how you managed it, how you appeared to be the wife, the mother, and the actress.
That's not, you sacrifice stuff, that's for sure, especially when you have kids. I'm thinking right now, I was like, I found my my text with someone before I had kids, and I would text, oh, I'm so busy, oh, I'm like swamped. And I was like, what I was busy with, like what? I can't even remember. I can't remember. People with no kids, you guys have so much time, you have no idea. uh, right now, it's just like it's always a sacrifice, you know. And just like I would, before kids, I would just take any audition. I was like, yeah, sure, I can audition for it, like, or I can try that. Now it's very, I'm very strict with my time, and just there is some projects that I won't do anymore, and I really I had to talk with my agent. I was like, I'm gonna do this, that, and that, but not this part, because I just don't have time for it. You appreciate your time, and your priorities change. So it's hard. You sacrifice stuff, but if you really want to do that, you can find a way. You know. And I'm taking them to my process. They like if I have an audition, they just sitting like two directors and like watching me what I'm doing. And they already shot 2 commercials, so they kind of
Congratulations, that's
yeah.
cool.
I mean, someone has to pay for the college, right? So they already work it. But I mean, I'm joking, but still, they when I shoot, they're really interested in photography. They just like they love cameras, and I'm just gonna give them as much as I can, but I'm just trying to bring them in my world, so they can learn something. Maybe it will be helpful, but just to be all. You have to sacrifice. There's no, I don't know. There's no way.
What would you recommend for people who are scared of camera?
Scared of camera? Oh, that's my husband. That's my husband. That's why he's like, he's so just wants to turn on, freezes. He freezes, and it's just only practice. There's nothing but practice. Because I was coming to acting, uh, being a model, and it's a very different energy technique. As a model, you're always aware of the angles, the camera, and just even me, like used to work with a camera. My first auditions, I mean, if someone still has it, it's like wow. I would just still, I couldn't help but just look into the camera and know what my angle was. And it's the worst thing for acting. It's like the worst thing you can do, and I had to unlearn that. And it's just practice. It's practice and practice and practice. I think the public speech courses or classes, they're very good because you are in front of the audience and you kind of have to perform. And but camera, yes, it's just only practice.
Anna, 35, 36. It's already 4 years ago. In a reset, what changed with you by that time?
35, 36. Oh, that's the biggest change. In 1 year, I lose my mom. My mom
Oh,
passes. I get pregnant and I give birth during a year. So that was a very emotional year. And actually, just because she passed, something clicked in my mind. The reason to have kids, like why I should have kids, and that's how everything happened. That year was crazy.
it's incredible in you that you have this power within, being impressed by the loss and death, which is extremely painful, with the experience of your father's loss. You still have chosen to deliver, to expand, enlarge your family, be a mother, and I think that's powerful.
But you know why? What I learned. Because look, we get to experience, everyone's going to experience losses in their lives, right? Parents, grandparents, close ones, God forbid kids. Everyone experiences that. And that's the lowest that you ever can be. The lowest. Because you know nothing about it. You cannot control it. And that's again, the lowest you can be in your life. Like spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And having baby and having a kid, and that's the complete opposite. So when you're saying I'm not going to have a kid or I'm not going to be a parent, what do you do yourself? It's like you strip yourself from the opportunity to experience completely like the opposite of death. And the death is the thing you're going to experience for sure. But saying no to kids, you're never going to experience the opposite of it, which is like the absolutely highest emotion and love and everything that life can give you. And you don't want to like steal from your life. We live only once. And of course there's a lot of responsibility. I'm not saying everyone should have a kid just to experience this heightened emotions and happiness and stuff. But if you're a responsible person, because I wanted to choose not to have them. And I'm terrified of that thought right now because I was consciously choosing not to. And the death of my mom just showed me that I'm just gonna steal from myself, from my life, if I don't do that, because the loss is gonna be all the time. our friends as we get older. But the life, the experience of life and creating life and giving life, oh, that's a gift. And that was very, like, I didn't know, okay. But that was very it wasn't fair to me to say I'm not going to have kids or decide not to have kids.
Anna, on this highest note, actually, I want to deliver something to you. I want to share with you a symbolic gift that I prepared for you. It's my cherished guest, and it's Gaia. It's a candle of Gaia,
Oh,
who is a symbol of family, expansion of the family, of being a mother, of an art, of creativity. And I think you produce so many beautiful feminine things, and that's what you have chosen by the end, after all trials that God gave you. You kept your vivid inner child, your spiritual woman, your mature woman, your artistic side, and that's what this candle is about. It's going to you to Los Angeles. And now I'm ready to pose my final question. Whom do you nominate to be the next guest on my show?
I have a friend, very good friend of mine. He's a director, and he shoots like the most emotional commercials you've ever seen. Like, it's so, I think he's going to benefit from it, and he might be interested in it. So I nominate Todd Heyman. You're next.
You know, my purpose is to deliver the insights through these heart to heart conversations and hopefully share the wisdom to our audience as well. Because while we are listening to the stories of well known personalities, people understand, oh my God, she made it or he made it. I can do it also. I can find the power within. I can become confident. I can approach my dream, get my goals, and build my life. And I think that it's very inspiring. Anna, thank you so much for our honest conversation. Thank you for your energy
Thank you
and
so much.
sharing your life and knowledge, and say hi to your family and kids and many more roles and great encounters in your life. And please don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, to subscribe to my blog, and download Gemini Miami app that is always there for you.